There was once two close friends that lived in two separate cities, and they were both very successful businessmen. One particular friend fell upon some hard times, and he started losing all his money to the point that he is on the verge of losing his house. Couldn't put bread on the table, and he's at loss of what to do. His wife goes over to him and says, "Listen," he says, "you have a friend in a nearby town. Go to this town. He'll help you out. He's a very successsul person. You would have done the same thing. Go and help him out." So he thinks about it. He says, with so much going on, I never thought about that. It's a good idea. He says, "I'm going to head out." He didn't even have money to hire a wagon. He had to walk to this other city. And he starts out walking. It takes him a few days. He gets to the city in the evening of one day. He says, "Am I going to go to my friend? I'm all tattered up and torn clothes and look so dirty from walking for so many days. Let me rest up tonight, fall asleep in some sort of park bench. Tomorrow I'll clean up and I'll go to visit my friend, explain my situation. Hopefully they'll be able to help me." So he goes, he finds some sort of corner, bench in the park, falls asleep. In the middle of the night, he wakes up with some sort of commotion. He gets up and he sees in the distance there are two people fighting. It looks like there was some sort of mugging going on. "Give me the money." "No, I'm not going to give you the money." And they're going back and forth until all of a sudden the mugger takes out a knife and kills the other person. Now this person sitting on the bench, he's shocked. This businessman, he's like, he's going to say something. He's going to who knows what's going to happen. So he went and he hid under like in a nearby bush, not to say anything, and hopefully, this person will go away. This mugger looks around, afterwards, sees no one's there, grabs the money and runs away. Now, this poor person, once a businessman, sitting over there saying, "What am I supposed to do? Should I run away and, go not," he says, "I need to get help. This person's obviously dead, but it's the middle of the night. I can't do anything." So he says, "You know what? I'll stick around here. Once daylight comes and I can see my way around, I'll run into town, get help, and come back and bring the police and let them do the investigation." He's waiting there till daybreak, couldn't fall asleep. All of a sudden, there was a policeman patrolling the area. The policeman goes and sees there's some sort of body over here, and he quickly starts running around. He sees that there's another guy sitting not too far away by the bench, and he says, "Aha! You are the guy that obviously, he goes and he runs over to him and he says, and he cuffs him. He says, no, it wasn't me. I was sitting over there." And the policeman wasn't listening. He says, "One person sitting next over here, it was for sure that it was you." So he goes and he's thrown into jail, and they bring him in front of a judge. And he starts saying, "It wasn't me. I'm telling you, I was just sitting over there. I was resting, and this guy came." And the judge said, "Listen, all the evidence is pointing that it was you." And the more that they researched, the more they saw that some strange guy, never been to this town before, all of a sudden comes in. There's a murder, and they sentence him to the punishment in that town that if you go and you murder somebody else, the punishment is you get hung in the gallows, and everybody, the whole town comes to see to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And his sentence was passed. A day goes by, and the whole entire town comes to see the hanging, and they bring him on this big podium. They put in the noose on his neck, and all of a sudden, his friend, the other businessman, looks and he says, "Wait a minute, I know the guy." And he looks closer, and he sees it's his close friend from the other town, and he starts screaming, "Wait! This guy's not the murderer! This guy's not the murderer!" And there's a commotion, so everybody stops. And this guy runs up to the podium. He says, "He didn't kill this person. I killed the person." And he said, "Okay, you killed the person, so then you got to get hung over here instead." And then the guy who's going to get hung, the poor businessman, looks at him. He says, he sees his friend trying to take the paper. He says, "No." He says, "Absolutely not. He didn't kill him. I killed him." And they're each going back, "No, this guy didn't do it. I did it. And this guy didn't do it." And the judge over there was going out of his mind. He says, "We've never had this situation before." So the king hears about this commotion, and the king calls both of them, to see him. And he says, "Listen, in our town, we don't kill people willy-nilly. We do everything that's righteous. Something is going on over here." He says, "But if you tell me honestly what's going on, I'm going to let you both live." So he separates them into two separate rooms, wants to hear the story is, as accurate. And, so one businessman goes and says, "Listen," he says, "this is my close friend. I know him for years. He would never murder, forget about a person, not a fly. He's the greatest of the person. I could guarantee you that he didn't murder. And if he is destined to death, I'd rather die rather than him. And the king says, is that so? Goes over to the other person and says, tell me what's going on. And he says, listen, my friend over here, he says he didn't do anything. He says it was all me. He says, I'm not, there's no way. And he says, what do you mean? How do you know? The king says, how do you know it's not your friend? He says, oh, I know my friend. He is the greatest person possible. He is such a straight person. He would never hurt anybody. He says, he is not going to die for anything. If someone's going to die, it's going to be me. And they're each one is defending the other person. So the king calls them both in. And he says, I see that both of you, really didn't kill this person. I'm going to let you both go. But I have one request. This friendship, I've never seen in my life. I've never seen such a friendship in my life before. I've seen people that kiss up and people that do ministers and other people, but I've never seen such a friendship. He says, my request is, says the king to these two businessmen, says, I want to join this friendship. I want to be a part. It says, with people like this is who I want to be friends with. The pasuk says, "V'yahavta l'reacha kamocha." You have to love your friend like yourself. And how does the verse end? Ani Hashem. I am God. What does the God, I am God have to do with it? Because if you get to the point of "V'yahavta l'reacha kamocha," if you get to the point that you love everybody, God says, I want to be a part of this. You want to have blessings in your life. You want to have success in your life. You want to have so much brachas in your life, and especially during this time, then this is what we need to work on. We need to work on v'yahavta l'reacha kamocha, to love every single person like yourself. Not the people that are similar to you. Not the people that you like, not the people that you get along, but every single Jew, whether it's someone that's like you, someone that's not like you, someone that's in your community, someone that's outside of your community, someone that's a Sephardi or an Ashkenazi. It doesn't matter. If you're a Jew, I love you unconditionally. V'yahavta l'reacha kamocha. If we're able to tap into this, besides the fact that this is such an apropos time, we know if we're able to tap into this, we're able to get rid of the sinas chinam that's causing the prevention of the third Beis Hamikdash. And if we tap into v'yahavta l'reacha kamocha, we get rid of the sinas chinam, we'll be able to see the geula shlema b'mehira.